Welcome back to coronavirus workout number 13. Today we're going to do some fun stuff. We're going to do some pyramid calisthenics. Oh, that's not fun. We're going to do some basic movement technique stuff. We're going to do some technical drills with a broom handle. Sounds a little weird, I know, but just bear with me. Then we're going to do some doubling up with a lead hand and finish off with something a little fun to finish with. All right, I'm ready when you are. Shall we get started? First cab off the rank, pyramid calisthenics. We're going to do push-ups, sit-ups and squats, starting one of each, then two of each, three of each, all the way up to 10. All right, no time like the present, let's get after it. One. That's one. That's two. Keep butt on the floor. That's three. That's three. Four. That's five. That's six. That's seven. Whew. Pardon me. 7, 8, coming up. lost count there. I think that was 8. 9, here we go. I think that was 9, but I'll do one more. Can't even count to 10 these days. All right, last set, 10, here we go. All right, nearly there. Now that that's out of the way, let's go back to our basic strikes. We'll do our 3 main punches, the jab, the cross, and the hook. And I'd like to just go over each of them with you and just go over some of the real fundamental points before we move on. First up, let's have a look at our jab. All right, so we're in our fight stance. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but there's a line here between my legs, the joint of the mats. I'm shoulder width, I'm on my railway tracks. You guys remember we were talking about railway tracks a couple of weeks ago. Stay on your railway tracks. If you're doing this when you throw your jab, stepping across yourself, you're open to leg kicks. So keep this foot, when you're sliding forward with the jab, don't let the foot come across. Just have it go straight forward. Boom. Okay? The foot is here. The punch is inside the foot. That's the line of the foot. The punch is here. Okay? We don't have to bring the foot to line up with the punch. Okay? So we're here, and the punch just comes out and turns over. We don't roll. We don't pull it back. Here, push. Now I'm going to show you from the other way. This way you'll see this back leg. That's what's driving the punch. So the hand doesn't come back, we don't pull the shoulder back, we don't roll, we don't flare the elbow. We just use more than anything, it's just this. This hand just pushes out and turns. Boom, first 2 knuckles. But this leg is what's going to drive us forward. So we're throwing our entire body weight behind the punch. So even with just pushing the arm out, with this leg we can actually add the weight of our body. Okay? Now, as a training exercise, I suggest landing the front foot at exactly the same time as you stop the punch. So as the punch flicks over and stops, that foot should plant on the floor. Now, as I bring the hand back, I bring the other foot back. Okay, so if I'm doing a few of them, I'm going to go push, 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 push across the room. We're back this way. Push, 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 push. All right, so I'm going to set the timer for 30 seconds. That's just for me. All right. You should probably stop the clock and do a couple of minutes to 5 minutes of this, just to make sure you're getting it. Okay? All right. I'm going to move around the room with this. But remember, front foot in time with the punch. Bus, 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 bus. Elbow in. I see a lot of people sticking the elbow in. Bah, bah, keep the elbow in. Bah, bah, just like that. Smack yourself in the cheek with the shoulder. Okay? And breathe out sharp from the belly. Squeeze the belly as you go. All right. So this is where you're supposed to stop the video, set your timer, do a couple of minutes of this. Now we're ready to move on to the right cross. All right, same basic idea, railway tracks. Now, to start with, we're not going to worry about the steps. All we're going to do is rotate, okay? The biggest mistake people make when they're throwing the right hand is they show it. They load up the shoulder, pull the shoulder back like they're an archer and they're pulling the bow back to let it go. This is an archery, all right? Don't tell the guy what's coming. Just push the hand out. One movement from here to the target. It's very important, okay? If you pull your hand back before you throw it, they're not going to be there. You're not going to land it, okay? What we're going to do, instead of trying to use the arm and shoulder to power up, we're going to use the leg and the hip, right? So all I'm going to do is, as I'm pushing the hand out and rolling it over, this foot turns and this hip swings around. Look. Whoop. Right, just hip. Whoop. Whoop. Notice my back still stays straight, my head still stays upright. That's the basics of that, just turning the body, okay? Next up, let's add a step, okay? Punching here is all well and good, but we need to advance. We need to step forward with our punch. Same basic idea as we did for the jab. Don't step across yourself, don't step out. Step straight forward with that front foot. We're going to land it. The front foot is going to land on the floor as the right hand turns over, okay? Still working a pivot. So I'm here. Notice my left hand is here the whole time. All right, if I face this way. Now, one really good way to get yourself hurt is to mistime that step and lean on this foot and then lean forward, okay? Step, lean, okay? If you're leaning to throw your right hand, or any punch, if you're leaning for anything, this is trapping all of my weight on my front foot. So I'm open to leg kicks for a start. My face is now in punch range. And because all my weight's stuck on the front foot, it takes me a long time to come back. I have to rock myself back onto my stance, which is slow. And it's giving my opponent time to counterattack me, okay? If I'm throwing a shot and I miss, and I've leant, and I'm trying to lean back, I'm giving him all the time in the world to come back and do something. So avoid doing that. What I suggest is take a deep step with the front foot. Wherever I want my punch to go, my foot has to go there first. That way, boom. Whether I land it or miss, that foot is in front, and from there, from in front, with my weight back here somewhere still, it can push me back. So I can throw my punch, and if something goes wrong, I can back off. Okay? So we're here. Alright? I'm not saying you should throw your cross, boom, and then back off every time. No. What I would suggest is, alright? Bring your back foot with you, bring your back foot with you, as we talked about the other day. But it's important to make sure you take the front foot with the punch and land the front foot in front as the punch lands. Not before, not after if you can help it. At the same time, okay? I'm going to set the clock for 30 seconds. That's for me. You should be thinking about watching that 30 seconds and then stopping the video and doing it for a couple of minutes. Another thing to remember is keep your chin down. A lot of people, when they throw the big right hand, they bring the chin up. That's dangerous too. All right, now stop the clock. Bang that out for about 2 minutes. So we've done jabs, we've done crosses. Now let's work on the hook. The hook is a magic punch if you do it right. If you do it wrong, you can get yourself in trouble. There's a few things you've got to be careful of, and I'm hopefully going to brush up on all of them today, get you guys firing them properly. First up, let's look at the basic body mechanics. We're on our railway tracks again. Target is here. I'm throwing my punch around the corner, all right, trying to come around the guard. Here's the guard. I'm trying to come around the guard. Now you can throw it like this, or you can throw it like this. It's up to you. All right, I've had different coaches tell me, one coach said this, the other coach said this. I don't know, do whichever one works. If one way hurts, do it the other way, okay? But now let's talk about what we're trying to do. We're trying to put power on the target. We're trying to hit jaw, ear, center of the head. Right here, boom, right here. Move that head. So to do that, you've got to put weight on it. The human head weighs about the same as a bowling ball. So you've got to hit that thing hard enough to move a bowling ball without breaking your hand, hopefully. So, how do we do that? We transfer our body weight. I'm transferring my body weight from here to here, and on the way over there, it goes through the target. Boom. So what we're going to do, we're going to put a little bit of weight on our left leg. All right, not too much. Don't be like, "Arr!" Put a little bit of weight on the left leg, load that knee up a little bit, and then we're going to push. We're going to push with that left leg. We're going to push to the side, and we're going to pivot a little bit. Now, there's a lot of argument in the Muay Thai community about how much you should rotate for a hook. In boxing, I was taught to rotate a fair bit. Right, get a nice big turn of the front foot. But that's because in boxing you don't have to worry about leg kicks. In Muay Thai, if you turn too much, if they throw that leg kick, it's almost impossible to check it correctly. So you don't want to rotate quite so much. Who knows, maybe you think it's worth the risk. Maybe you've got a really nice left hook, so maybe you want to risk it. But it could get you in trouble later on. But a little bit of rotation is okay. Okay? So, we're going to load this leg up. We're going to push across to the side. Right. Now, another thing you've got to be very careful of, I think I just did it a little bit then. The biggest mistake I see a lot of people make is this big roll here. I see people doing this. This. It's no good. Look how open you are. My face is completely exposed for a split second there. And, look, I'm showing everything. They're going to see the whole thing. They're going to see that coming. They're not going to be there. They're going to move back and they're going to miss, and then they're going to pop you in the nose. All right, so we're here. What we want to do is keep the hand up. We're going to go out and around. And we want to use the shifting of our weight and our rotation to drag the punch across the target rather than trying to swing the shoulder like an idiot. Okay? So we're here. Now, I suggest for Muay Thai, keep this hand up. Here's okay, here's better. Okay? So we're here. Another thing, squeeze your abs, lock your core up. A lot of the hook comes from this area here. And when we do the little drill we're about to do next, you'll see why this is important. Okay? So we're here. Breathe out hard. I'm going to set the timer for 30 seconds. I'm only doing 30 seconds. Once I've done that, you should stop the clock, stop the video, and do it for a couple of minutes. Another thing to be careful of is the timing of the hip and the shoulder. A lot of people do this. 1, 2. They get this timing change. It's like hip and then shoulder. No good. They should both happen at the same time. All right. So, jab, cross, hook. Let's move on. As promised, we're going to use another prop today. A broom, or a mop, or a pool cue, whatever. I'm actually not going to use this. I don't even know where this has been. That's gross. Ew. What I am going to use is this. All right, it's just a bit of wood, a bit of dowel. I think it's like 1 inch or something. All right, and we're going to do some basic drills using the stick to force us to use our hips and legs rather than our arms. All right, first up, putting it behind our back. Okay, so if you've got a broom or a mop or a pool cue or a javelin or something lying around the house, grab that, put it behind your back like this, and let's go. No, it's fine, I'll wait. Today'd be good. Oh, I'm going to go in. All right, so I'm in our fight stance. All right, so my hands are stuck. My hands, my shoulders, my elbows are locked to my hips using the stick, right? This is as far as I can go without moving my body. I want to throw a body hook, a body rip. So what I'm going to do, I can't use the arm by itself, I'm just going to do this. So I've got to use my hip and my leg. It's all about the rotation of the hip, see? If I face this way, see, what the stick is doing is the stick is forcing me to use my hips, my legs, my butt to generate the power rather than just with the arm, okay? So, this is the part where you stop the video and do 2 to 5 minutes of that. Walk around the house. Try not to smack anybody with the end of the stick, otherwise you might get in trouble. And then when you're ready, come back. All right, so we did body shots, rips. Now, from here, let's have a look at uppercuts. We're going up the middle, up the middle. Same basic idea as what we just did, but more of an up tilt, less of a turn, okay? Once again, the stick is trapping my arms. It's forcing me to use my hips, legs, and butt. All right, stop the video, do it for a couple of minutes, come back. So we've done rips and uppercuts from here. Now let's go upstairs, like this, throw hooks. Now, some people have shoulder mobility issues. Some people get a little bit of discomfort here. Suck it up, princess. All right, just do it. All right, complain about it later. All right, now we're here. All right. So, basically the same idea as we did before, but now the stick is behind our head and we're throwing regular hooks. So here, boom. Remember what I was saying before about transferring your weight. So I'm here, I can't roll a shoulder, so I've just got to turn the hip. I can shift a little bit of weight from the left leg to the right leg, but don't overdo it. All right, don't lean too much. And same for this. Don't go too far. Don't be like, Just go to the target, go a few inches past the target, and then come back. Now remember, squeeze those abs. It is a little uncomfortable, but just deal with it. Now we're ready for the shadowboxing part of this evening's entertainment. Today we're going to work on doubling up our lead hand. I love this one. Doubling up your left hand is a winning strategy, especially if you're training it with other attacks. we're going to do a double jab, we're going to do a jab hook, and we're going to do a hook jab. All three of those are great. If you chain them to one another, you'll have even more results. Most people will defend the first one, but then the second one will slide through the gap. So it's definitely worth practicing this one. Once again, I'm going to do each one for 30 seconds, and then you're going to stop the clock and do them for a couple of minutes. All right, so for the first one, the double jab. All it is, once again, just like we were talking about before, don't flare that elbow, just keep it here, boom, okay? Step one, pull it back as you bring the other foot through, step forward, boom. So the reason these double shots work is because the first one gets us this far, and the second one we continue. So when they cover up, we just basically slide closer, and then the second one will get through the gap. So, okay, so I'm going to do 30 seconds on that one, and then we'll move on to the jab hook. Notice the power is coming from that back leg. Everything we do is coming from that back leg. All right, let's move on to the jab hook. Another easy one. All right, step with the jab, just like we did. Bring the back foot up, load that back leg, step again with the hook. Oh, okay, so now the step for the hook. So we're not stepping like we were doing before. We're stepping like this. We're sliding this foot forward on its track, we're turning it in a little bit, and we're driving it into the ground as we make contact. Just like we did with the jab, we're timing this foot to land as the hook lands. Okay? One thing to be careful of. Remember that big loopy loop we were talking about before? That's going to get you in big trouble during this, okay? If you're doing this, boom, boom, what's stopping them throwing that right hand down the pipe while you're loading up your hook? All right, I've been caught out by that. I know a lot of people have been caught by that, and it's a really good way to eat a solid right hand, so be careful, just like this. All right, out, back, and then here, boom, boom. You don't even have to bring it all the way back. Boom, but just don't loop-de-loop it. Okay, 30 seconds. And then you stop the clock and do your own 2 minutes. You'll notice my right hand's here the whole time, okay? You don't need to be here. Keep this hand up, otherwise you're likely to eat something yourself. All right, moving on. I'll stop the clock again, shall I? So, stop the clock, stop the video, come back, do 2 minutes, come back. All right. Hook jab, another good one. Hook, force your opponent to bring the guard out. Hit the guard, boom, and then short reset down the middle, okay? All right, same thing, step, reset, elbow back in, and push it down the middle. All right, 30 seconds. pumping, I reckon. We're in the home stretch, guys. We're going to do those same 3 combos again, but this time we're going to chain a third strike to them. The double jab, we're just going to chain a kick to it. The jab hook, we're going to chain a kick to it. The hook jab, we're going to chain a cross to it, a right cross. All right, I'm just going to bang them out. I'm going to do 30 seconds on each. Once again, you can do 30 seconds if you want, or you can do 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. This is really up to you. Here we go. Jab, jab, kick. Jab, hook, kick. And finally, hook, jab, cross. Hook, jab, cross. See that? There's a few different ways you can do this. 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. Either way's right, depends on what you're doing. Time for the trick of the day. Today's trick is a little bit controversial. I've heard a lot of people say, spinning back kicks aren't Muay Thai. Yeah, fuck off. Spinning back kicks are used in Muay Thai. Anything that works is used in Muay Thai. I've seen guys in Thailand do it. I've seen guys here in Australia and Europe. It's a technique. If it works, use it. If it wins the fight, use it. People that say, oh, it's not classic Muay Thai, they can get fucked. Yes, you see it more in karate and taekwondo, but that doesn't mean we don't use it in Muay Thai. All right, if you know how to do it, you use it. Muay Thai uses anything that works. I've seen axe kicks used in Muay Thai. I've seen spinning kicks. I've seen tornado kicks. Look, if it wins the fight, use it. Now, that being said, spinning kicks, anytime you're turning your back on your opponent, is a bit risky. It's a hard move to get right. It can get you in a lot of trouble. And if you want to get good at it, you better practice the shit out of it for months and months and months, if not years, before you try to use it. All right, it's a little risky, but if you do it right, it can have some good effects. There's a few different ways of doing it. The one we're going to do today is just a straight down the line kick. We're not going to do any hook kicks or anything, but I'm just going to show you the basics. We're starting in our fight stance. Now, guys, there's 3 rules I want you to stick to. There's 3 steps, and you've got to do them in order, and you've got to get them right. If you get these right, you should be okay. If you mess them up, you could get yourself in trouble. Now, along the way, I'm going to try to tell you as many things as I can think of to avoid and things that you should do. So, step 1. Step the lead foot across in front of the rear foot. Now, here's where I've got to warn you about a couple of things you can do wrong. First up, notice my feet are lined up with you, with my target. That's important. Wherever the line of the feet goes, that's where my kick's going to go. That's where my weight can go, okay? If I step too far, if I step all the way over to here, my weight now wants to go in this direction. So if I'm trying to kick you, but my weight is going here, I'm losing balance, I'm losing power, I'm losing accuracy. It's just a shit show, all right? So, rule number 1, when you step across, step directly in line with the target. Imagine you're riding a skateboard or a surfboard or a snowboard towards your opponent. All right, that's rule number 1. Rule number 2, we've got to turn our head as quick as we can. So, step, turn, whip that head around. Now, notice, my foot was on the ground. My right foot, and here's another warning, Your right foot cannot leave the ground until your eye gets on the target. Boom. Once you can see the target, then fire the leg. But not until. That's one of the main mistakes I see people making. I see people doing this. They step fine, and then they start, they're still turning the head as they're lifting the foot. Their balance is shot, their accuracy is shot. They don't know where the target is. They don't know where they're going. They're off balance. It's horrible. Follow the steps in sequence. Step, turn, pump. All right, now, last but not least, the form of the kick itself. There are several ways you can do this. There's hook kicks and wheel kicks. The one we're doing is a straight up back kick. Don't kick the leg out, straight back, like a mule, like a horse, kicking out backwards, okay? So, step 1, step 2, step 3, boom. Now, let's talk about the hips. Watch this. Step 1, step 2. Now, watch what I did. Watch where my head and my hips go. Step 1, step 2. I'm leading with the shoulder. See, my hips are now back. Think of the string of a bow, okay? You want to build tension in the string. Pull the string back and then let the arrow go, right? Same thing with the hips and the kick. Look. Step, turn, loading up the hips, and then fire the kick. Okay? Step, turn, fire the kick. 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 Okay? Now I'm going to do a southpaw, because I'm southpaw. I'm going to do them for 30 seconds. It's really up to you how long you do these for. But as I said before, if you want to get good at that kick, say you want to add that kick to your arsenal, good for you. But be aware that you need to practice it. This is the kind of kick, you can't do it 1,000 times and expect to get it good. You've got to do it like 10,000 times, 100,000 times, before you even think about using it on a live opponent. Because you can get yourself in big trouble. All right, here we go. Alright, that's a bit of fun, isn't it? That's it for coronavirus workout number 13. Don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe. If you like it, that is. If you don't like it, blow it out your ass.